Sometimes life is just easier off leash. I was trying to figure out the best way to tell this story, and it's a ton of footage for what ultimately wasn't that hard of a track. We started off the morning with a duck hunt. We ended up getting a few ducks, had a good afternoon, and by evening I was stalking a boar in the swamp, got a shot off, and only found a couple drops of blood in the mud. It was super wet in the swamp, so I just backed out and went back with Jaeger the next day. Well, pretty soon into the track, we found an old deer carcass, and I just kept assuming Jaeger was going to this deer carcass because he smelled the rotting deer. Mistake number one, I was assuming. And then I was getting all tangled up in brush and sending him the wrong signals because I'm telling him to stop and whoa, because I'm all knotted up and can't move in this stuff. And eventually, we went all over creation. He's just hunting hogs because I confused him so much. And then, by the end of the day, though, I let him off leash, and guess what he does? He goes right back by that deer he found and brings me to the hog. So, here you go. Here's a good example of don't overcomplicate things. Sometimes life is just easier if you just let the dog work off leash.
Good boy.
I was braced against this tree, and he was just in the far side of this green stuff. If I put him somewhere, it was like I thought I just knocked him like down into this. But let's see where Jaeger. Step it off the leash.
To recap, I was the hunter. It was the evening prior, low light. I was hunting with a 45-70 Marlin lever action. Came up on some pigs. They were kind of hard to see in this tall swamp grass, and I had to wait kind of till I could make out one broadside. Range was maybe 50 yards. Took the shot. They all scattered. I found a couple drops of blood, and then a little bit on some grass, and then I backed out to go back the next day with Jaeger.
I see the orange core. Here. Yeah. There's hogs in here everywhere. All right. Here's the blood I had. Jaeger, here. It was in this mud and it's gone. All right, Jaeger. Tracking. We're tracking. Yeah, I found where it started. The other blood was. Maybe what do you, a little more to the right. Come on, pal. Let's see what you got. There you go. This seems like the direction. Black hog, yeah. What you got, Jaeger? These airs. He's throwing his nose, he's trying to find it, but it angled. Where is the Jaeger? This is thick. This is gonna be hard. want to loop back. Where is he, Jaeger? Up. Oh no, this is a dead deer. That's a good distraction. Been here a while. Looks like a doe. Well, now, so that, he was air scenting. He was likely air scenting that. Okay. That's what you call a distraction. But did the hog run here too is the question. All right, Jaeger, we're not looking for that. Where'd this hog go? Hey, no. Okay, where'd the hog go? I can tell he's coming marking where coyotes are pissed at this thing. All right, Jaeger. Hey, find it. Whoa, Jaeger. Jaeger, whoa. Any sign there? I like that turn you just made. Jaeger, whoa. Jaeger. All right, he's not showing me a lot of confidence. Again.
I'm just gonna jump ahead now because that was the point where tracking just switched for Jaeger to hunting. He was tracking good. He's telling me it's this way. I'm getting hung up.
We're tracking here.
I'm telling him corrections when I don't need to be.
Jaeger.
And in the end, he starts just following fresh hog scent. And I know it's there because I can smell pigs.
Okay.
So I know that he just overwhelmed pig scent. So we went a long way. We go back and we reset.
Come here, Jaeger.
And then he ran around more in the swamp.
We're gonna slowly
and
work
then
it.
I
We still
reset.
see blood
And,
anyway.
and he's exploring more. At this
Blood.
point, he doesn't know what I'm
blood
asking
here.
him to find. He's
And I
just like, I'm
assumed-
hunting all the hog scents I can find. And even after the third reset, I'll start showing it again. He brings me back to the deer that he already showed me before and wants to keep going again. And I get hung up in the brush again. And I miscommand him again. And then we end up spotting vultures way off in the distance across this huge, gigantic clear cut. And so I'm like, oh, maybe that's the hog way out there, and maybe Jaeger was right, and you know, it actually crossed this huge clear cut. So we crossed this whole swampy clear cut to see what those vultures were circling over. And in the end, when we got all the way over there, they flew away. We didn't find a thing. And I'm saying to myself, you know, this hog lived, or you know, I don't know what's going on. But at that point, Jaeger's so wore out. I'm wore out, sweating. I took him off leash so we could walk all the way back. I'm like, well, he's so tired now, he can't run away from me. I'm not going to lose him in this stuff. And then what do? We go back to the hillside again so I can get my orange paracord. And now that he's off leash, he starts wandering back towards where he already took me a few times. And I let him, and guess what?
Well, battery died on the camera. But we went all the way back to the hit side again to get my marker. I had Jaeger off leash now, and with like, it was so easy to distract a dog. Jaeger here with the leash and this kind of stuff. So I just kind of let him work the line off leash and didn't have the camera rolling. But we came in on this kind of swamp side down here, and he started showing me, indicating again he was into something. And he did a little, Jaeger here, he did, we're in these tunnels, Jaeger here, he did a little loop, and guess what is laying in here? In the end, I'll turn on X, but in the end, it's probably, it's downwind and a little bit from that dead deer he found. So I think, Jaeger here, I think what happened was that hog ran by that deer along with the other hogs with it. You see how I can even get to him, but I thought I saw something black. Where is the Jaeger? Whoa. 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 Sure enough. Big old hog. Big old boar hog. All right, Jaeger. Good boy. Okay. Hola, amigos in Spain. Jaeger and I wanted to send our thanks to our tracking friends in Spain and wish you all a safe and successful tracking season. Go Jaeger. And I'll try to read this in Spanish best I can. Jaeger y yo queremos enviar nuestro agradecimiento a nuestros amigos rastreadores de España. Y os deseamos una temporada de rastreo segura y exitosa. Vamos Jaeger, and viva Acercen. Hey, where'd that hog go?